In the meantime, we're getting breaking news right now that the man who tried to steal a gun from a Las Vegas police officer at Donald Trump's rally has been arrested. The suspect, Michael Sanford, told authorities that he traveled from California to Las Vegas with the intention of killing Donald Trump, and he had spent time at a gun range in Las Vegas just days before the rally. Joining me now, Eric Beach. He's chairman of the pro-Trump Great America Super PAC. Eric, first let's talk about the big news of the day, of course. Corey Lewandowski is out. He gave a big interview. He still champions Donald Trump's cause, but he's not quite sure why he's out, despite the fact that there were a whole lot of rumblings for a long time that there's been some disarray within the campaign.
Sure. Well, I mean, congrats to Corey for, winning 37 states for Donald Trump and outdoing more than any other Republican candidate in our recent history with 14 million votes. So, look, I think, these things happen in every presidential campaign and really a lot of state campaigns. You really hardly ever end with the same campaign staff that you begin with. I think you're going to see this evolve into, more traditional campaign operation with probably a 50-state finance operation and probably focus on 10 or 11 states.
I get the talking points in that there's a natural evolution within a campaign, but Donald Trump's had a bad couple of weeks. The polls haven't gone in his favor. They've been drifting, particularly in some key areas. And some are saying that maybe it's Corey Lewandowski kind of enabled or some of the actions that these seasoned guys like the Paul Manaforts didn't want Donald Trump to sort of present himself with. But doesn't this present the campaign, Eric, a sort of challenge in of itself? The success that you pointed to with Corey Lewandowski and Donald Trump rewriting the record books and now moving in a completely different direction. Is that exactly what you guys want to see Donald Trump do?
Well, look, what I want to see him do is really focus on those 10 or 11 states. You have to look at these elections through electoral lenses. Donald Trump has the ability to win in states like Ohio and Pennsylvania and Florida and turn purple and even blue states into red states. And you have to do that by being a disciplined message. Right or wrong, the Orlando tragedy, which I know you're going to have Carl Higbee on, which our PAC, Great America PAC, did an ad on and talking about it. There's no better discrepancy between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton than the areas of national security and protecting the homeland. And I think the more that he's going to be on message, he's going to go into the convention. I think post-convention he's going to have a great bump. And I think if you match that with a nice finance operation, he's going to be able to make sure that those states that we need to win in November, that we do win in November.
Eric, let me ask you about this breaking news. The man arrested, he tried to wrest away a handgun from a police officer. He had taken lessons at a range in Las Vegas, and now he's expressed to police officers that his intention was to try to kill Donald Trump. What is the campaign saying about that?
Well, I'm not part of the campaign. I don't know what they're going to do.
But I would assume, do you have some connection? I mean, you communicate.
Sure,
this is certainly
absolutely.
Shocking news.
No, I think it just, again, it demonstrates that we're in a very polarizing general election campaign, and there are those that love Donald Trump and those that can't stand Donald Trump. What I will tell you that, there's been, as you mentioned in your opening, 4 bills that are talking about the art of gun control. I think this campaign is going to be about law-abiding citizens wanting to protect the United States. I think Donald Trump represents that. I think if you're looking in areas where there's certain policies that weaken the United States, that Hillary Clinton has demonstrated a history of ways to weaken our countries through her policies.
The thing is, though, we know that the way these things have been articulated by the mainstream media is violence committed at Donald Trump events by anti-Trump people are always somehow correlated back to Donald Trump himself. Now, I'm not sure how they'll spin this, someone actually trying to kill Donald Trump and blaming the candidate himself, but you can imagine probably what the headlines will look like tomorrow.
No, absolutely. Look, I live in Costa Mesa, California, and Donald Trump, with 24 hours notice, came out and did a rally here, had 20,000 people, and there was about 150 protesters, and all of them got coverage. Living in Costa Mesa for 10 years, I assure you, none of the people that were protesting were even from Costa Mesa. They were waving Mexican flags and coming up from different areas. And you're going to have organized protests against the Republican nominee. I've never seen it this heated. I will tell you that at Bernie Sanders rallies, which I've also been to, there's just a lot of momentum for Bernie Sanders on the Democratic side, just as there is for Donald Trump on the Republican side. I actually like to be on the side where we have momentum on our side, we have the voters and the grassroots behind us, and I think that's really going to surge and help him in November.